New Braunfels has the most unfriendly people. New Braunfels is very crowded. Geez, there's nothing to do in New Braunfels. God, I hate this weather. Nothing grows here. Geez, some scathing reviews of New Braunfels from New Braunfels residents. Maybe you should just rethink this whole moving to New Braunfels thing. I mean, maybe. Or maybe we should just fact check these reviews so you can tell the difference between what's fact and what's fiction. Let's do that today in today's video. If you are new here to my channel, coming on board for the first time, thank you so much for hopping aboard, because every week we're putting out new, relevant, important information like this about what it's like to live in New Braunfels. Niche.com or niche.com reviews things like schools and places to live. So I went down that rabbit hole recently and saw all these reviews about New Braunfels. And about a third of these reviews, can you believe this, are not so great to awful. So here's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna read off some of these comments, and then I'm gonna tell you what's true and what's false. I gotta tell you, this first one really surprises me. This New Braunfels resident says, New Braunfels has the most outwardly unfriendly people. No one speaks or acknowledges your existence. Neighbors never say hello. True or false? From my perspective, unequivocally, without a doubt, false. People are nice. People always say hello to me, whether I'm at the park, the grocery store, or driving through a neighborhood. Go drive through a neighborhood, and people are out walking their dogs, just walking themselves. They're gonna wave at you, unprompted. I've had clients come out to Land Park before, strangers to the area, and they say, residents here say hello, and they shake hands, and they wave at them. So the people here are nice. They say hello, they wave, and the people in New Braunfels are very trusting. I was able to land an interview, a sit-down 1-hour interview on camera with a former mayor of New Braunfels just by calling him on the phone, and he didn't know me. Same with the owner of the oldest bakery in Texas. He was happy for us to come do a video on his bakery, and he didn't know me from Adam. I'm a stranger to him at the time. Where I'm from, that would never happen. I mean, reaching out to the mayor where I'm from or a business owner to request an interview, man, I'd have to jump through so many hoops. I'd think I'm in a circus. They would tell me, first you got to speak with this person, or that. Look, I just want a simple sit down. So now you know the difference between where you're coming from and where you're moving to. The people in New Braunfels are very friendly. They say hello, they acknowledge your existence, and they wave at you. Here's another review from a New Braunfels resident. New Braunfels is conservative, and there's not much to do in New Braunfels other than shop and eat. True or false? The first part of that review is true. New Braunfels is a conservative town. Most residents in town vote Republican. The second part of that review is a big false. There's plenty to do in New Braunfels. So much. Grab some popcorn right now. This is going to take a while. I mean, where do we start here? How about our award-winning parks? East of 35, Fisher Park. West of 35, Landa Park. Our recreational rivers, the Comel and the Guadalupe, the lakes, the huge water park, the famous worldwide water park, Schlitterbahn. And we have, remember what the resident says, we have nothing to do. How about the farmers market every Saturday, or Old Green Market Days, just green in general, or downtown New Braunfels alone? So many events and activities to talk about, with parades, Wurzfest, Day of the Dead, Wassail Fest, Christmas tree lighting, Christmas tree parade with Santa, county fair, and so much more. And there's always something going on at the Civic and Convention Center. There's the Children's Museum, for crying out loud, mom and pop shops and restaurants, big box stores, and indoor entertainment options if you don't want to deal with the heat or just for whatever reason. There is plenty to do in New Braunfels, so much that you don't have time to do it all. Now here's a review I agree with for the most part. The bigger neighborhoods, a resident says, are typically cookie cutter setups with just average yards. Absolutely agree. Within city limits, zip code 78130, and in a number of our new construction communities in New Braunfels, where prices range from $230 all the way up to $380, many of these homes do look alike. They are cookie cutter homes. Lot sizes range anywhere from 40 to 70 feet frontage to 120 to 150 feet deep. Now, if you want more space, more lot, acre communities like Copper Ridge, Vintage Oaks, River Chase, Havenwood at Hunter's Crossing, you're gonna pay a lot more money for that house. I like this next review because it covers a few areas. I'm paraphrasing here because this review is a little bit longer. Nice town, the resident says, but it's not very bike or pedestrian friendly, and local roads struggle to keep up with traffic. And New Braunfels doesn't offer enough parks or trails. The resident is about 50% correct on New Braunfels not being very bike or pedestrian friendly. We do have bike lanes throughout the city, but many of those lanes allow cars to park in those lanes. Now, the city's goal is to connect and expand bike lanes throughout the city, and also to create space barriers between the bike lanes and the parking spots. Is New Braunfels pedestrian friendly? If you're referring to walkable neighborhoods where you can get to a nice restaurant or grocery store by foot, then no. New Braunfels is not pedestrian friendly, has a low walk score as a matter of fact. New Braunfels is very car dependent. But if you're talking about walkable areas where you can drive up, park your car, get out and walk around and do things, then yes, in that case, New Braunfels is pedestrian friendly, especially in downtown, in Green, or at our shopping district. The resident comments about road struggling. Look, anytime your town grows 56% in 10 years and in just a 3-year span grows by 20,000 new residents, you're gonna feel the crunch for a little bit. Up until the residents can vote on a transportation improvement bond where you widen the lanes and you add traffic lights, which residents did in New Braunfels in 2023. So road improvements are coming to New Braunfels, just not as fast as we'd like them. The city, county, and state has already added lanes on our main loop in New Braunfels and also on I-35 in and out of New Braunfels, and there will be more transportation improvements in the coming years. The resident's last comment about New Braunfels not offering enough trails or parks, 75% of that is false. I mean, we're not Austin or San Marcos where the trails there can be longer, maybe more scenic and more strenuous, but we do have trails for beginners scattered throughout the city. And the comment about parks, we got two of the best in New Braunfels, award-winning, in fact, Landa Park, Fisher Park, as we mentioned earlier, and there's a whole lot more parks coming to New Braunfels, including the Zip Family Sports Park. That's going to be, wow, 4 softball fields, 4 baseball fields, 4 soccer fields, plus much more. And the 130-acre park on the northwest side of New Braunfels, and Mission Hills Park, where you can already enjoy, you can already hike and enjoy that park. And soon you'll be able to enjoy Mission Hills Park from an observation tower. And we haven't even mentioned our river parks scattered throughout the downtown area. The city is definitely committed to parks. This next review is short and sweet, and so is my response. New Braunfels is a small town, but very crowded because of the tourists. Yep, during peak season, absolutely. We're a destination resort town, so that's to be expected. Another resident says the job market in New Braunfels is centered around retail. Mostly true. Again, we're a destination resort town, so you're gonna have thousands of service jobs and retail jobs. Now, we do have education jobs with our schools or medical jobs with our hospitals and urgent cares, but New Braunfels does not have enough high-paying jobs to keep New Braunfels residents from commuting outside New Braunfels for work. Now, that's something the city's working on as part of its strategic plan, is to recruit more high-paying jobs to the area to keep New Braunfels residents in New Braunfels to work instead of commuting outside New Braunfels. I hate this climate, another resident says. Nothing can grow here. We're constantly under drought warnings. That's true. That resident is spot on. New Braunfels is rather dry. With the exception of the last several months, man, it just felt good for all this rain to sweep on through with El Nino in town, above average rainfall. But from 2021 through 2023, it was dry as a bone in New Braunfels, which triggered all these water restrictions, like the resident says, and lowered the levels in our rivers and lakes. Now, restrictions have loosened up because of the recent rains, which means we can water our grass now once a week instead of once every 2 weeks. But as much rain as we've had in New Braunfels the last several months, we need a lot more. Let's keep this going. What is your review of New Braunfels if you live here? Go ahead and put that review in the comment section below so we can keep this going, so people thinking about moving to New Braunfels can learn more and we can respond to one another. And if you are thinking about moving to New Braunfels and you've already given this place a 5-star review, of course, I'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can email me, you can call me, or you can shoot me a text. As always, thank you so much for watching our videos, and we'll see you on the next one.